All right, today we're going on a bit of a quest into the magical kingdom of Ethereum. And what it was searching for? We're trying to understand this legendary new toolkit, something forged by some of the biggest names in the space. And its whole purpose is to bring the power of privacy to every single person there. So let's get started.
And look, the stakes here, they couldn't be higher. We're not just talking about some cool, nice-to-have feature. This is a direct warning from Vitalik Buterin himself. I mean, that really sets the stage for just how critical this whole mission is, right?
Okay, so what's the big monster we're trying to slay here? Well, funny enough, it's not actually a bug or a flaw in Ethereum's design. It's a core feature, radical transparency. But that feature, well, it's turned into a really dangerous curse.
You see, Ethereum was built from the ground up to be this open, transparent, programmable world, which is amazing. But that radical transparency comes with a massive side effect. By default, there is zero privacy. I mean, none. Every single move you make is out there in the open for anyone, and I mean anyone who wants to look.
So how does this curse actually affect you? Well, it shows up in four main ways. First up, the network layer. You know those centralized RPCs you connect to? They can see your IP address. Bam. Just like that, your real-world location is linked to your wallet. Second, every single dApp you connect with can track that same wallet address, building this detailed profile of everything you're interested in. Third, there are these super powerful analytics tools out there that can connect all the dots and piece together your entire financial history. And finally, the public ledger itself. Just think of it as a permanent record where every single transaction you ever make is announced to the whole world forever.
But hey, in every good story, right when a curse is threatening the kingdom, a hero gets some kind of magical weapon to fight back. And in our story, that weapon, that magical boon, is a toolkit called Kohaku. And Kohaku isn't the work of some lone wolf. Nope. This is a huge collaboration between the Ethereum Foundation and some really key teams like Empire, Railgun, and Helios. Their whole goal is to build privacy right into the foundation of Ethereum, so it's not just some feature you tack on at the end.
The name itself is actually super meaningful. So Kohaku is the Japanese word for amber, but it also refers to that beautiful red and white koi fish, which is a symbol of strength and good fortune. And all that symbolism really gets to the heart of the project's philosophy. Privacy shouldn't be some complicated niche thing for experts. It should just be normal for everyone. Okay, so how does Kohaku work? Well, it comes in two main parts. Think of it this way. On one hand, you've got the spellbook. That's the SDK. It's this awesome modular set of tools for developers, so they can just pick and choose the privacy features, the spells, that they need for their own apps. Then, on the other hand, you have the training ground. That's the Kohaku wallet. It's a real, fully functional browser wallet that's basically a live demo, showing everyone exactly how to use these powerful privacy spells out in the wild. All right, enough talk. Let's crack open that spellbook. It's time to learn the actual spells, the specific tools that Kohaku gives you to protect yourself on your journey through the Ethereum world. First up, and this one is absolutely foundational, is spell number 1, RPC independence. So instead of shouting your IP address to some big centralized server every time you just want to check your balance, Kohaku lets you run a tiny, super light Ethereum client right inside your browser. What does that do? It breaks the very first link in that surveillance chain, right at the source. Boom, no more metadata leaks. Spell number 2 is pretty much an invisibility cloak for your on-chain questions. It's called private state reads. Basically, you can ask the network, hey, what's my account balance? But thanks to some really clever tech, we're talking things like trusted execution environments and ORAM, the server that gives you the answer has no clue what you actually asked for. It's like asking a question in a crowded room, but only you hear the answer. It's wild. Okay, this next spell is just plain smart. It's called the Art of 1,000 Faces. And think about it for a second. Using the same wallet address for every single dApp is kind of like using the same username and password on every website, right? It's a terrible idea. Kohaku fixes this by automatically creating a brand new, totally separate address for every dApp you connect to. It is literally like wearing a different disguise to every party, making it impossible for anyone to track you from place to place. And now for the main event, spell number 4, the Cloak of Shadows. This is for truly private transactions. And it's a really simple 3-step dance. First, you shield your funds. You just move them from your public address into a private shielded pool. Second, you interact. Inside that pool, you can send and receive funds totally privately. The sender, the receiver, the amount, it's all hidden, thanks to the magic of ZK Snarks. And then third, whenever you're ready, you just unshield your funds back into a public address. Simple as that. But Kohaku isn't just about today. It's also looking way into the future. That brings us to Spell 5, Wards of the Future. This includes stuff like ZK Social Recovery. You can pick friends to help you get your account back if you lose your keys, but, and this is the cool part, it uses zero-knowledge proofs so their identities are never revealed on chain, so you're not doxing your friends. And then, looking even further out, there's post-quantum security. This is all about making sure your assets are safe from quantum computers that might be able to crack today's encryption. It's some serious future-proofing. And believe it or not, that's not even the whole spell book. There's even more advanced stuff in there, like peer-to-peer transaction broadcasting, gas abstractions you can pay fees with different tokens. I mean, the list goes on. This thing is a seriously comprehensive toolkit. So, you've got all these amazing new powers. But where does the journey go from here? Let's take a look at the roadmap, the path forward for Kohaku. It's all broken down into 3 main phases. First, in 2025, it's all about laying the foundation, getting those core components like the light client and private state queries out the door. Then, from 2025 into 2026, we level up to advanced defenses. This is where we get those per DApp accounts and the shielded transactions we talked about. And finally, 2026 and beyond, that's the paradigm shift. We're talking integrating things like ZK Social Recovery and post-quantum security to get privacy baked right into the protocol itself. A whole new game.
Okay, so let's zoom out. What does all of this actually mean? What kind of world can we build once these tools are available to everyone in the Ethereum ecosystem?
Well, for developers, this is a total game changer. Before Kohaku, adding privacy to your dApp was a massive headache, really complex and difficult. But with Kohaku, it just becomes a simple, modular baseline. Building private by default apps is going to be easier than ever, and that's going to fundamentally change how dApps are even designed from the start.
And that really gets to the ultimate vision here. The point of Kohaku isn't just to be technically impressive. It's about making the experience of using Ethereum feel more like, well, like the real world. You know, it's about building a more human, more private digital space where you can do things freely without having to broadcast your entire financial life to the entire planet. Look, this isn't some far-off dream anymore. The tools are being built right now. The spells are being written. The path forward is clear. The spellbook for a private Ethereum is officially open for business, so the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?